welcome to our garden. Today is 17th of February. We're still a little way off from being able to plant a lot of the things, although I have already made quite a good start, as you've been seeing on my videos. Decided I'm going to try something a bit different because I bought extra spuds this year, more than what I need. I do have a couple extra fabric pots, specifically these little beauties. They have, oh, you can tell they've not been used since last year. The little window in the front, so you can see how your plants are getting on. Now they're quite novel, I thought at first. My sister bought me some for Christmas a couple of years ago. They're fantastic. They're really, really good. They're so easy to store. I like them so much, in fact, that I went out and bought a larger version without the window to do my main crop potatoes in, because I saw a lot of people using these big plastic buckets, and they're good. I'm not knocking them. I do think they're quite cool, and I may end up getting some myself, but for what I've got, I wanted something easier to pack away. I don't have as much space as I'd perhaps like, but I do have a good bit of space to be able to put things out. And I can use some of the pathways. I can put the pots just in there. So I got myself some of them, but kind of planning on doing a few bits and pieces. And what I've thought today is I'm going to plant some of these spuds up. Now I've got first earlies, second earlies and main crop potatoes. And I'm going to have a go at planting my first earlies now, popping them in the pots with windows. So I'm not going to plant too many, 2 per pot. And then I'm going to keep them in the greenhouse. Give them a good soak through. They can flush through. I've got some little water pans down here as well, so the water will flow into there, it'll be fine. Just see if I can get it a head start. So now if I plant them outside, there's no point. There's no point. We are still in winter at the moment. The frost has far from finished. So yeah, that's the plan. So with the spuds, if you remember, I chucked them in what I thought was fleece. It's not. It's Enviromesh. I think I must have been tired, but it still did the same thing. The ones I'm going to be growing were some Taylor's Rocket. Now they've been sat in here for 3 weeks now, and I just popped them all in these little pots, but they've been chitting away quite nicely. Some of them actually started chitting on the base as well, and you can see that just there. Yeah, so I'll bring you outside. Oh, it'll give me an opportunity to show you what I do with my spent compost as well, won't it? So I'll take you outside, I'll grab all these bits and pieces, and I'll see you out there. Right, so setup's quite simple with regards to the compost. All the spent compost from the tomatoes, you can see I've chucked in here. You look, still loads and loads of little roots. It's absolutely fine. What I've also got in here, if I dig down a little bit, is I've got a mixture of my own compost, and then also, just because I didn't have enough for it, Tesco's has got some Miracle Grow stuff going, £2 for £9 I think it was. But yeah, so I've got some of that in there. The stuff with the roots, I'm not too worried. That's all going to break down. It'll add nutrients to the soil. Plus, these are the pots I'm going to be growing these guys in. Now, first earlies tend to seed where they're laying. What I mean by that is, I take my little seed potato, and I'm going to pop it in the tub about here. All of the seed potatoes, all the potatoes grown from this seed will be on this same level. First earlies are not the potatoes you see where people mound up and keep mounding up because it keeps building up. First earlies just grow on the level they're planted at. Now, I've got 10 seed potatoes and 4 tubs. So, last year I overplanted these. I put 2 and 2, and they didn't work very well. So this year what I'm going to do, I'm going to plant 1 and then 1 in 2 of these tubs, and then in the other tub I'll plant 1 and then 2. That way I use all 10 seed potatoes, because I'm not going to have enough room to put them anywhere else, because I've only got, I think, 10 of the big tubs, and I'm only going to be putting 3 in each of those, so I won't have enough space. So that's the plan. So bottom section of this mix is going to be most of the topsoil that I've got here, which is all of the spent compost from the tomatoes last year, and we're going to fill it up to about yay high. Pop the seed potatoes in. I'm going to add a little bit of fish blood and bone because it's damn good for spuds. This has obviously already got a little bit of feed in it because of the compost I put in there, but that's not why I bought that compost. I bought that purely to help bulk it out with a little bit of organic matter. So yeah, so I'll bring you back in a second. I'm just going to quickly fill this up to yay high, and then I'll show you what I do with regards to actually placing the spuds. Right, so that's them all filled, so you can see to about yay. So that's all placed down. Don't really want to firm it too much. I'll take just, oh, if I can pour it with one hand. What do you reckon? I might have to do the rest of these off camera. There's no chance I can do this very easily. A bit of blood and bone in there. Just give that a quick whiz round. Now, so you've got your opening here, you've got a handle on each side. Now, when you plant your seed potato, I'll take it out of here. When this grows up, because I'm putting these on 2 different layers, it's going to send a shoot straight up. So I don't want this to have to fight through one of the other ones. So I pick a handle. So all of the bottom ones are going on the left, the top ones go on the right. With the ones that I'm planting 2, I will probably just have to go, say, 1 here and 1 here in the next level. That way I'll make it count. We did it last year, 2, 1, 2, built up to the next level, 1, 2, then top it off. Didn't work as well. So I'll carry on with these and I'll see you in a second. So that's them done. Next thing is to water them. Now, I kind of forgot to water the base, the first set of compost, before I put the rest in. The downside to these pots, I find them a bit of a pain getting that water all the way down. It can take some time, and because it's fabric, the water tends to bleed out the sides, which I'll be able to show you quite quickly with the yellow one. Now, thankfully there is some moisture in this soil already, so it shouldn't take too much at the moment. Watering can for the 4 should be alright. Now if I bring you over, you'll be able to see. Switch this camera. You see, bleeds through the sides, which is good because it means you can't really overwater them, but it does mean you can underwater them quite easily. What is that? Ah, a bit of plastic, brilliant. But yeah, so that's them done. Garden's getting along quite nicely. Most of the beds are all prepped. I've got onions in there and actually in there as well, but they haven't come up. Have had issues in this bed already though. You see some of my garlics come up, which is perfect. That's what I want. However, I seem to be fighting with the birds at the moment. Birds love bulbs. They will dig it. I don't even know where that garlic's come from. I must have planted extra. I only planted 1 row. Oh well. You can see this is my soil after, what, 3 years, and it's just so beautiful now. Very, very proud of it. This is where I'll be putting all the brassicas this year. Still got some carrots left to finish, but this is the netting, and then the EnviroMesh that you saw. I'll build a screen over to be able to lift up as and when. But brassicas in the middle, some garlic. I'll put another row of garlic in just there. Some onions here, just try and deter things. But then I'm going to have some calabrese there. And then my son wants to grow cabbages, so we're going to grow some cabbages just there. Maybe a few, but it'll be nice. Now I am having issues in this bed. Now yesterday I planted 3 rows of the French garlic, Eden Rose. Is it Eden Rose? Yeah, Eden Rose. So that's now all planted in here. As I say, only just yesterday. I haven't even cleaned that stuff up. But the problem I have with this bed in particular, can you see this? Do you know what this is? We all use it. We brush our teeth with the flavour of it every bloody morning. This is mint. And there's so much of it in this bed now. You can see I've got decaying, well, not decaying, but chicken muck pellets. They're all nicely sinking in now. I've got to try and dig all of that section up. You can see all of the roots that I've been digging up. There's so many of them. The only thing I really want to keep in here is there's a few irises, which you can see appearing just there. I'm happy to keep them in there. I might have to lift the bulb out and put it back in. And the lavender in the corner. Other than that, I want to get all the other plants out of here now, because I want to use this bed for beans and things like that. Yeah, so it's going all right. So this bed's pretty much all prepped now. You'll notice there's a few manky old potatoes. They're absolutely fine in here. They're all just decaying themselves. Most of it's just skin now anyway. You can see with this one here, it's just skin. So they're not going to regrow, so that's fine. Got no issue there. Got a random strawberry plant just there that appeared over winter. Not really sure why. Need to get in and pull out all these nasturtium corns, but nice thing is they count as browns for the composter. So, you know, positive. But yeah, right. And pop these bits back in the greenhouse. Oh yeah, future project. I'll see you in a second. Right, so that's these guys all in there. Should really have hit that with spray, but it's fine. Jet wash it when it gets a bit bigger, that'll be fine. But yeah, so they're now all in here, and they'll sit nicely here over the frost. So, that's how I use my spent compost. Add a little bit of fertiliser, usually blood and bone for me, or chicken manure pellets. That tends to be because it's easy for me to get hold of that. Add some extra compost. I'm going to be sorting out those Daleks very soon, and I'm going to try and do a little video on that. Only problem is I'm not really sure how I'm going to do it yet, but we'll find out together, I'm sure. Last video I did say I wasn't going to be doing one for a couple of weeks. We were supposed to be away. We're actually supposed to be coming home today. Unfortunately, I don't know what this is, but we've all been quite poorly again. So we got on our holiday on the Monday, and Tuesday morning came along and we made the call that we were going to have to come home because me and my son both become very, very poorly. It's not too bad today weather-wise. In the greenhouse, it's actually 21 degrees, which is lovely. But I'm already shivering and boiling hot, so still very poorly. But the nice thing about gardening, it gets you away from everything, concentrate on one thing, and you're working towards something. So it's a little bit of something to make me feel better today more than anything else. So apologies if I've jabbered on, or if when I edit this the sound isn't the best. But I mean, I uploaded one the other day, I got the scale wrong, so you know, it is what it is. Eventually I'll get better at doing that side of things, but I'm not so good at it at the moment. Hopefully I'll get better at growing the bloody potatoes as well. But yeah, so I'm going to call it a day for today. Thank you ever so much for joining us. Oh, actually, I did do something else as well. Probably should show you. It's my onions. I like red onions more than brown onions, or white onions, don't know what you call it, depends where you're from really. You know, I bought these Red Baron. I hadn't sorted the bed out, and I noticed on YouTube a couple of gardeners that I like watching, as I'm sure most of you will as well. They plant them in plugs. I thought, I haven't got plugs big enough. And then I saw one chap planting them in some plugs that I recognised, which were from Aldi. So I planted up a load of my Red Barons, only the good ones. Thing is, you buy these bags for £2 or £3. You don't get as much as you do in a packet of seeds, of course, but they're so much easier to just crack on with. But as you go through it, you check them, and if they're all squishy, or if they've gone a little bit white and funky, or if they've already started to just straight up mould, don't use them. So my full bag turned out to be that tray plus half a dozen. I've got a few beds which I'm repurposing this year. One I was going to get rid of, but I haven't got around to, so I'm going to bung some garlic and onions and just see if it works. It's no loss if not. I'm not going to put some of the better ones in there. I'm just going to put the assorted leftovers in there. But yeah. Right then, on that note,